welcome back to Raw Podcast, Restoring Awesome Warriors. I'm Jackie H, and I have here my co-host, Gail Barron, the judge. How you doing today, sis?
Good,
You
good,
doing good?
good.
Any jokes, anything you want to say before I get started? I know you always got to say something on me, but no, it's just a good day. We're having a good day. Outside today it's raining, so but the sun is shining on our lives, so we're happy. Need the rain too.
Yeah.
Can't always have the sunshine. But today we're gonna just talk a little bit about training someone for someone else.
Yep.
Uh, I thought about this because, I cater, and I do a lot of food things in the food business. But I had to realize the other day, do you know I trained no one that if I get sick to carry on? And what I mean by that, I can bring in a cook, I can bring anyone, but would it be your taste? McDonald's, wherever you go at in the United States or across the out of the United States,
Right.
when you get a hamburger or you get the Big Mac or the French fries, whatever you
taste
get,
is the same.
the taste is the same. But if you come to my kitchen, if I'm not cooking, have I prepared anyone to do that same recipe? And I can say no, because I cook from my heart.
Right.
Now that's something, I don't know how you train that, because I learned from my mother, cooking from her. Mommy didn't have a measurement for nothing.
Right.
I don't even think we had measuring tools. Like, you know how people have the spoons, this thing to measure cups. She went by her
Right.
whatever she felt, and she tastes according. So I'm trying to see, how do you think that I can fix this problem, or is there some things that's what it is? I don't know what to tell nobody, even to put in the measurement.
Well, unless you have someone there
That's watching.
with you, that's watching, that's duplicating. Even if you don't have it written, you can talk it.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the person can write it. And along with teaching and giving them the whys, giving them understanding to why you do what you do, they probably could pick it up, but it's just that effort. I know you like doing things solo, and that's your joy, and but it doesn't help if you're wanting this to last and you want
Or just want to take a vacation.
right, that's what it to last
Yeah.
and to keep going. You have to train somebody.
Yeah.
You got to be comfortable. You got to trust.
Yeah.
You got to trust somebody.
So sometimes I think you would know that person. I remember how I learned to drive and go places with Daddy. Neither one of us knew how to read the map. But he would do drive runs. He was training me
right.
how to do it. So it wasn't necessary that we knew the day of. But if he knew that he had to go somewhere Monday,
Right.
he would take Saturday on the weekend.
You make it a weekend trip.
And we'd make a weekend trip of it and drive there. So by the time Monday came, he went straight to the place. But it wasn't because somebody trained him or he knew. It was he prepared.
Right.
So it's different ways on some things, So that person had to have an interest to want to learn how to cook. Or I'm just using that for, you had a lady that you trained at your the job that I came to work with you with, and I didn't get it at the moment, but you told me she knows the people in the building, and I know the work, so we was able to work together. And I often wondered, well, when you left, where was she going to be? You had to take her with you?
Well, I didn't consider that initially, and it wasn't until after the fact that I realized that was the wrong thing to do. Although we worked good together,
Mm-hmm.
She was at the property longer than I, so she had a more familiar relationship with the tenants.
Right.
And so she knew that part, and I knew the business part of it. So we meshed and we worked together, and we was a good team
Yeah.
for a while. But then when they wanted to promote me, what people saw was the strong front. They didn't know behind it.
Yeah.
And then when I got promoted out, she lost her job because the next one coming in
Thought she knew.
thought she knew and would be able to help them
Wow.
and didn't. So everything don't work
Yeah.
like that. And you don't know, the aftermath
Yeah.
of the
Wow.
impact by the aftermath.
Yeah.
And because of me,
So that probably left her devastated.
Yeah.
Yeah. She knew the tenants, but she didn't know the business.
she didn't know.
Wow. So this is what we're talking about today: training someone else in case.
In case.
Yeah. So I was blessed and honored in my life to be able to play for the Dixie Hummingbirds, the world famous Dixie Hummingbirds, and that's what I saw. Mr. Ira Tucker training people while he was alive for the unfortunate day when he would no longer be here. The group was able to go on because there was, if you didn't see them or know that that wasn't him, he had people that sound like almost identical. And that was interesting to me. And I see a lot of groups do that. They train up people while they're here. So you'll have the name going on, but it done changed like 5 different personnels. Because they trained for when they wasn't here. So that's...
And some people are okay with that.
Yeah.
Training while they are here.
Yeah.
It depends on the person.
Yeah, you tell somebody you're training for their job.
Yeah, people can feel all types of ways.
Yeah.
But if you're secure and confident in yourself, because if you keep a closed hand, nothing can come in and nothing going out. Yeah. So you train people for progression because you don't want to be in the same spot year in and year out. Right. But it behooves, like you're a leader, wherever you leading from, train somebody else, especially if you have a lucrative business, ministry, and you know that it will help a variety of people. You don't want that good thing to stop. But if you have it all on in you, one day anything can happen. So it dies with you.
So I understand the importance of right division. It can be your vision, but somebody else can run it.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But if you got something good and nobody even know it, just you. Like you say, it can be a good thing that can go on for years and years and years. It can be legacy. But if you only want to have it in you and you haven't trained no success or nothing, but that's a good point you said. Maybe somebody don't want to tell you what they're doing because they're not secure in what they.
It can be that. It can be a lot of things.
Or you don't know how to train. Like I don't know how to train.
Right.
Like.
You know what you do, but how to articulate it for somebody else.
That's hard for me because I play by ear with music. And I have several people asking me several times, can you teach me? Can you show? And they think I'm trying to be funny. I have no clue what to tell you. I can't train in that. It's a gift that I can just pick up instruments and play, but I don't know how to relate that to nobody. That's how I do with cooking. If you can watch me, because that's how I caught on to it. I watch our cousins in church. I just sit there and looked at them. With God gave me to put into it, it wasn't like they told me anything. I just looked at them. So when you say train, could you train? There's different ways to train. You don't always have to have a book. It don't always have to be. It can be from watching. What is the training?
it goes back to your resource. And to like our parents and the people that raise or is instrumental,
Mm-hmm.
or they were country people. They were people that work with their hands.
Mm-hmm.
They wasn't acclimated or knew about this technology or
Mm-hmm.
even write, because some people couldn't read or write.
Right.
They knew how to
Get
do
it
it.
done. Yeah.
And so to be able to, and we were the children of them, so we
Mm-hmm.
duplicated what they did. But now, like you got your zeal or your passion for cooking from mommy.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't cook with recipes. Daddy was, uh, he knew how to advertise, but he didn't know business. But
Mm-hmm.
he still was successful for that time.
Mm-hmm.
But now I have children, the next generation that went to school. So we're in a good spot where we got from them, but we can take the schooling from them and mesh it together,
Right.
and still be successful. But everybody, whether it's shame, you don't want nobody to know what you don't know,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm loving life now because I can reach up and down.
Right. Right. So I tell people in a minute, I don't know, but I'm willing to learn. So I'm getting over the shame that I don't. Your daughter asks me all the time, "What's the recipe?" Call me. "What's the recipe for this, Aunt Jackie?" And I used to be like, I can't. You don't know. You just made all that. You don't. I don't know. So now I'm paying attention though. I'm paying attention. It don't always have to be that way.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know probably 3 months ago. Well, since you keep asking me, now I pay attention. How you still have your personal stuff
You
that
still
go,
put your
but
own
there should be
touch.
a basic,
Yeah.
basic of what you put in.
Like macaroni.
Yeah.
What's your basic?
Right.
Or put it, what ingredients you use for your macaroni.
Yeah.
You still can put your feel to it.
Right.
And as you keep making it, then you try something else.
Yeah.
It's still yours.
And I'm learning how to write down now. So if you ask me, or for it can taste the same as this restaurant, or I can play the same for your group, you'd be surprised how. Okay, let me tell this story. Gail, so much I learned. So we play music, we sing and stuff, but I didn't realize just because I'm a guitar player or a piano player don't mean I can play for you.
Right.
You train for where you're going.
Right. Your style.
So this ain't funny, but this is what happened to me. So I was just telling you about the Dixie Hummingbirds. So how I got there was from our friend Linda Bain Jones, who has gone on to be with the Lord. But he asked me one day, because a bass player wasn't able to make this concert that they had in Canada. And he asked, would I be willing to come and fill in? So if you know anything what Daddy told us about the Dixie Hummingbirds being one of his favorite groups, there was no women. You didn't play in the all male, for not back then them days, but not for that group. So I was honored to be even asked. So he must have asked Mr. Tucker. He must have agreed that for this show I can do. But Mr. Tucker told him to give me the music, the CD of the songs that they was going to sing. So Bain, we've been working together long because we play for the Huff Singers of Philadelphia. So Baines wanted to kind of upgrade the music, and the Dixie Hummingbirds, they was on a drum machine. They didn't have music. Those men could natural bone just sing. They made music with their mouth, everything, top notch. So I'm new coming in. So he don't know. We've been singing the Dixie Hummingbirds in our little home group forever. I knew the music. It wasn't nothing. It was simple. But he gonna tell me and him got together. He gonna tell me to practice upgrading this bass line. So I did. I really did. and came to the first rehearsal. So Mr. Tucker asked me, say, baby, you studied the music? I'm talking about training for someone else. He knew what he wanted. It was his music. So the first song, they always sing, Who Are We? Got through that one. I played it just like supposed to play. The second song, this is what we're going to do, the upgrade of the music. I'm looking into the camera saying, if you got your instructions to do it this way, however they trained you, and you going for a new position or job, stick with what you know. I played, Gail, that song. It wasn't nowhere near what that man had gave me on that tape. I knew it. If you know Mr. Tucker, he say, wait a minute, y'all hold a minute. He put his head down, went total silence. It seemed like it was forever, but it was just probably 2 or 3 minutes. He said, let's try that again. I did the same thing again. He stopped it in the middle again. He said, baby, did Baines give you the tape? Did he get? I said, yes, sir. He said, okay, let's try. At that moment, I knew exactly what he was saying. That was not what he gave me. I played that song exactly like that record. He said, okay, you listen to it. You got it. You got to be trained for, maybe some other group will let you do that. But for him, it wasn't about all that flashiness. It was just stick with the basic. Their singing promoted them. They didn't need all that. Baines got outside, Gail. He laughed so hard, but he left me stranded. Because while I did what he told me to do, he never told Mr. Tucker that he the one who told me. So I learned from little simple things. Training your successor for something, it depends on who you're training them for. Some people want upgrade. Some people want to go, this what they doing now. Some people just like to stay with the basic. Lesson learned. I got it. Never happened again. And I stayed with them for 3 years. Follow instructions. He was training me for his group, not for no upgrade. So sometimes even if you know more, what do that person require? Your training got to go. You can't go to somebody else's place and just start doing what you want to do.
And be okay with it. Learn there.
This church is not that church.
Yeah.
This home is not that home.
Yeah.
I had to learn that out. Mommy said, this is my house.
Yeah.
You do what's under this roof.
Right.
Now, if you want to go somewhere and practice, get your own.
Yeah, right. Right.
She's still going to train you, but you're going to train with.
Right.
Not, yeah. So
that's a good training.
That's a good training.
That's a good training.
Yeah. So you got anything to say to this? It's nothing. We just stopping by to give some points of train for the next person.
Yeah.
But then you got to train for where you're going.
Where you going and your style.
And your style.
The upgrade for somebody else it feels good. Mm-hmm. But for me, I'm a singer. Yeah. But I like what I like.
You like basic.
I like what I like.
Some people like butter. Some people like oil. Training for where you're going, So it's nothing really hard we're saying today.
Simple.
It's just simple, but it's something that can make you miss out for not being trained for the job. So Gail, as we always say, it's a pleasure talking with you.
Always.
And helping people with our little things that we gathered along our lives. But we're going to leave them with love God, love family, work hard, and be kind.